Hello everyone, this is Atram, and with me today is...
Donatello.
Alright, we're going to be playing some Vintage Constructed. So this is new for me, not new for him. He knows what he's doing. So, and I will get this on Twitch. Okay, and we'll be hopping into a queue. So we're playing with a blue-based deck that you seem to not necessarily have a name for, but you kind of have a name for. So I called it Tinker Control. So, yeah. Is this hand keepable? No.
No.
No. We're mulliganing.
Definitely a mulligan. That's much better.
Much better. Okay. Did you want to the post on the Facebook to let people know that we're actually streaming now?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, I'm going to keep this hand then.
Yeah,
So,
that hand's fine.
we're keeping.
It's not great, but it's fine.
It's better than bad. Okay.
Oh, at least he's not playing workshops. I think I actually know this guy's deck. I've played against him before.
Okay. So we lead out with the Polluted Delta, right?
Polluted Delta, yep. And then Imperial Seal.
Okay.
Go fetch an Underground Sea.
He's Ancestral Recalling during our upkeep.
That's fine. We can't do anything about it.
Sure.
That's all we're going to do is go get our own Ancestral anyway.
Sure. So we're going to crack this, get Underground Sea, Imperial Seal for Ancestral Recall.
Yep. Assuming it resolves.
And it does not.
Yeah, so we're in trouble at this point because it's okay though. It's vintage, so I mean we have a lot of options.
Right, we do. I agree. All right. Well, that was something. All right. Okay. We got another Flusterstorm now.
Well, he's not going to storm us out, that's for sure.
So Flooded Strand.
I would play a basic island.
Okay.
And then at the end of his turn, we can try to do the Empiric Tutor with Flusterstorm backup.
Sure. Okay, I can do that.
And then that way, if he tries to kill us, we have double Flusterstorm backup.
Sure. Okay.
Which he's probably not going to, because it looks like his recall must have been garbage.
Alright, so we'll try to Vampiric Tutor for our own recall, right?
Yeah, assuming that. I mean, he might just counter it again. Oh, he didn't. Okay, so yeah, we want our own recall to try to stay on par with him.
Okay.
We're already down a card because we mulliganed.
Sure.
That's okay, because now we're about to get it back.
Do we just do it right now? Or play our land?
Play the land first, yeah. Just in case. So you have double Flusterstorm.
Okay, so recall our... So that's the way we draw some cards.
He's probably going to Flusterstorm it. Oh no, he's got a Mana Drain. Okay, so we Flusterstorm that.
So we Flusterstorm the Mana Drain.
So that means his recall must have just been a bunch of counter spells.
Then... Okay, so same targets, same targets. Okay. Okay. And now he's Force of Willing with Magus of the... Okay, so then we Flusterstorm.
Magus of the future. So we'll Flusterstorm that too. At this point, we're all in on that recall, so we have no choice.
Do you want the Underground Sea or the Tropical Island?
Grab the Trop, even though we don't need it because we have an Emerald, but we could still take it just to kind of diversify.
Yeah, we're all in on this, this
We really need
Ancestral
this recall to resolve at this point. We just basically traded 3 cards to get 3 new cards.
Right.
Except...
Okay.
That's okay. Those are okay. We can just pass. We don't have anything to go do with right now.
Sure.
We want to give the illusion that we have a great hand.
Right, that we drew reasonable stuff.
Yeah, like, honestly, Voltaic Key is always live. Like, there's a good chance that we'll probably find some way to get our Time Vault.
Sure.
And now we know he doesn't have much more counter magic. I'd still just pass. We also have Tendrils in our deck, so we can kill him with Tendrils if need be.
Sure. We're on the Infinite Mox plan right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. 3 out of the last 4 cards we drew were Moxes. Or no, we had the one in our hand.
Yeah, we had the one in our hand, so we drew 2 out.
2 out of 4 of the last cards we drew were Moxes.
50%
normally not a bad thing. He's going to play a Jace.
That's not great for us.
That's okay. That's okay. There's not... I mean, luckily, since it's vintage, we can stay on parity with him as long as we... I mean, we have our own Jaces.
Sure.
So hopefully, we can get our own Jaces going.
At least we have a counterspell up now.
Yeah, I mean... Last turn, our other option was to play 2 Moxes so we could hardcast Force of Will, but, like, given the nature of how this game has gone so far, I just
do we run out the, like, Voltaic Key, or do we just sit?
I would probably run out the Pearl and the Emerald, and then that way we can at least
hardcast?
Have the ability to have Force of Will and Mental Misstep.
Sure. Okay.
Because we can hardcast the Force.
Sure.
He doesn't seem to have much going on.
Now,
I'm playing a very similar deck to what we're playing. But he's got Tolarian Academy with no artifacts.
Right, so he has 4 mana open right now. And... we just let that resolve right, and then counter whatever he gets.
He's gonna probably go get he's probably gonna go get the Grafdigger's Cage or like a Black Lotus or a Mox or something.
Okay. Well,
my guess is probably Black Lotus, since he doesn't seem to have. I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of things he could get.
Divining Top.
Okay,
I think we'll misstep the top, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, misstep the top. He's got nothing going on. That's a pretty clear sign that his hand is crap. And we also always have the out of drawing a way to find Time Vault and just winning on the spot. So that's a huge plus.
Okay, good point. I agree. Okay, so counter said top. And
not sure.
Counter said counter
over it. He might fight over it. He can't mana drain us, so. Yeah, he doesn't have anything going on. He was really hoping for that top to resolve.
Well, that's good. We don't want him to get what he hopes for. Okay, that gives us more mana.
Yeah, play it. That way we can hardcast Force easily.
Right.
I mean, realistically...
Do we still hold the jet?
What's that?
Do we still hold the jet?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to give the illusion that we have a good hand.
Sure. Okay. It's all about mind
realistically,
games.
2 turns ago, before he played his Jace, we could have played the 2 Moxes to hardcast Force. But at that point, our best plan was to try to kill him with Storms, so it didn't. It was kind of like a contradiction. Like there was only one way we could go with it.
Sure. Oh, that's probably not good.
So I'm almost certain that he's playing like probably 4 Trinket Mages. He's probably going to play another one right now. Yep, sure enough.
So what's he get with this Trinket Mage?
Probably another top.
Think so? Okay, so we counter this top then?
Yeah.
We just say, no tops for you.
He still has nothing going on.
You get 0 tops.
If this Force of Will resolves, then that probably means he doesn't have any counter magic. Well, he might have a mana drain, because last turn he couldn't cast it.
Okay, so there's a mana drain.
So that's fine. Let him mana drain it. It's not a big deal. Next turn, hopefully we'll just draw a Time Vault and then win the game, because he doesn't have anything.
Now, when playing this, most people are nice and just kind of let you win if you go Voltaic Key Time Vault?
A lot of them make you play it out, because they don't normally make you play it out the first game, but if it's like the second or third game, they usually... I mean, it really depends. Like, I'm of the opinion that you should always make them play it out for 2 reasons. Number 1, because on Magic Online...
The chess clock?
The clock makes you have to do something. And number two, like even in real life, I do it anyway, simply because you get to see their deck and gain more information about what they're playing.
Gotcha.
Like, obviously, like in this case, say he got a time vault and we'll take he online. He wouldn't need to give us any more information because he's got
just pluses Jace until he kills us.
He's got creatures and he's got Jace. But like, if they don't have a win condition on the table, you always want to make them show you a win condition. And then it gives you more information as well. Like now he's probably going to play a Notion Thief. Or wait, he chose Wizard? Okay, so Magus, yeah. Woohoo. So many people are hot for that card right now in Vintage, and I mean, it's cool and all, but it does cost 5.
Well, I suppose you can still play it on turn 1, though, in Vintage.
Yeah, you can. Well, and the thing is like I think the reason they like it is because he just so happens to be a human wizard. So, like,
right.
It's convenient for the Cavern decks. So he's got a Demonic Tutor. Let's see what this guy does. I mean, at this point, the game's almost over. As long as we got, like, one more turn, though. So, I mean, if we draw a Time Vault and he's just sitting there girdling, we can just kill him unexpectedly, which would be really entertaining. We've got approximately... Let me see... 1, 2... Okay, so we've got like 6 outs to find the Time Vault.
Okay.
Which is pretty reasonable for a 43 card deck.
He just flashed that back. Now he's gonna have a mental misstep.
Okay, so we lost. Scoop it up.
You want me to scoop it up?
Yeah, he's gonna attack.
Oh yeah, he has 8. Okay, cool.
He attacks for 8, we're at 8, we die.
Makes sense.
That's alright. I mean, his hand was obviously a lot better than ours, and we mulligan, so it doesn't help.
Alright, so against him, do we need the ley lines versus him?
I would say, if anything, we probably want to swap that Nihil Spellbomb in for a rebuild, because the rebuild is mostly for workshops and for, like, an answer to Blightsteel.
Okay.
Which he doesn't appear to be doing either of those. I guess he could be playing Tinker Blightsteel, but...
Do you want Echoing Truth then in for Blightsteel?
No, because we're on the play this game, so we just want to be as consistent as possible.
Okay.
And the only dead card that's completely unrealistic to keep in that I can see is the rebuild. We could bring in some number of Swan Songs because that's occasionally a useful plan, but I don't think we need them on the play, so I think it's better to just try to be as consistent and less watered down as possible.
Alright, so just run it back like this then?
Yeah, I would say this is probably okay. Once again, the sideboard is not exactly the way that it should be. There's a few cards that are missing.
This seems decent.
Yeah, that hand is very strong.
So we keep this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a lot of ways we can go. Like, we can go with the turn 1 Soul Ring. I'm in favor of just turn 1 recalling ourselves and then hoping...
Before he can do any mana? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
because we have Force of Will up.
Draw any mana source that's not a land, we can play the Soul Ring and potentially even the Jace.
Okay. So, sack this then. Undercurrency?
Yeah, for sure. He's not, I don't think he's playing Wastelands. I mean, if he is, then his deck's very greedy.
Right. Well, we didn't see any when he used up over half his deck. So.
Yeah, he played a lot of cards, so it's very unlikely. He might just mental misstep this and save us the trouble, but...
Force it then?
No, I'd let it go.
Oh, okay.
Because that would require us to lose the Merchant Scroll, which, it can, I mean, I guess we could force it, but, like, the problem is that that's going to leave us open to him playing his own bomb on turn 1 or 2.
Sure. So what we did there is, rather than trying to...
See, like, here's a Black Lotus, which means he's probably going to play Jace.
So I don't force the Black Lotus, but I force the Jace then?
I would, under most circumstances, I would counter the Lotus, but not knowing that he's playing a Jace. Like, when he's playing a Jace, I would just let the Lotus resolve and then hope to counter the Jace that he plays.
So are we letting the Lotus resolve then?
Yeah.
Alright, he gets a Lotus.
And then we just hope that he plays a Jace. He might just play a Mox or not do anything. Like in that case, yeah, he didn't do anything. So he was just trying to sucker us into countering his Lotus. He probably doesn't even need it. Or he might just be upkeep. He might have See, I'm really worried about Notion Thief with this guy because he seems to be a Notion Thief deck.
So Soul Ring then right now?
Yeah. Throw that Soul Ring out there. It's really unfortunate that we didn't draw a land.
Sure. Makes sense. So I think he's debating whether or not to counter the Soul Ring.
Which is fine. If he counters the Soul Ring, then I mean we could definitely try to stop him, but we don't have any reason to want the Soul Ring other than to play the Jace next turn if we draw a mana source.
Right. So
like it's probably, I mean, it really depends on how he counters the Soul Ring, because if he uses another Mental Misstep, then it's really disadvantageous to us to try to counter back with our Force of Will against a misstep.
Right, because then he can just manually get.
It appears as though
not drain it.
He might just be doing multiple Qs.
It's quite
because
possible.
nobody thinks this long about countering a Soul Ring.
It's quite possible. There's people waiting in the queue.
It's hard to say at this point. I mean.
Okay. So that resolves.
Yeah, so that was lucky. We just need to be able to play our Jace next turn. Hopefully he'll try to run like a Magus or something. Like he might just play a stupid Cavern, and then we can't counter the Magus anyway. But
sure.
Kind of awkward that we missed our land drop there.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely interesting situation so far. Click.
End step Vendilion Click. I mean,
I think we counter that, don't we?
Yeah, we could counter it, or we could let it resolve. Worst case scenario, he takes the Jace or a Force of Will. But at this point, since we don't know when we're gonna have a clock on him, we should probably counter it and just pitch that Merchant Scroll.
Okay.
Just because we don't want him to have a 3-power clock. That's a 5-turn clock on us at this point.
Right.
Well, it's really a 6-turn clock, but it's probably going to be a 5-turn clock considering our fetch.
He forced us back.
Alright, well, he wins then. He can go ahead and have his Vendilion Click.
So we'll get Jace out of our hand.
Is he targeting us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, he'll probably take the Jace.
Okay.
Actually, he might leave. Oh, no, he did take the Jace. Okay, that's fine.
So he took Jace, gave us Flusterstorm.
And we still wouldn't have drawn a land. That's terrible. Sometimes Moto Shuffler is pretty rough.
Yep. Trust me. I've had discussions about that.
So we've got plenty of time as long as we can draw something reasonable that's not just non-land cards.
Sure.
Like, if we draw a land, we could hope to actually kill him next turn. That's perfect, perfect with Gush. Because he's only at 16, so we need 8 Storm.
Right. Well, 7 Storm count plus Tendrils.
Plus Tendrils, yeah. So, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, there's a lot of cards. Since it's vintage, we could draw, like, Lotus, Yawgmoth's Will, and have a pretty real shot at actually killing him next turn. Okay. But then again, it might just be better for us to wait until we actually can guarantee that we have the right Storm count. Because at this point, he missed his land drop last turn too. Mm-hmm. So, oh wait, no, this is his second turn.
No, yeah, this is turn 2, so he hasn't missed it.
Yeah, okay, so he's actually probably doesn't have much left for gas wise. Like if we do find anything, there's a pretty good chance that it's going to get there. Ideally, we'll draw like a tropical island or a fetch land.
Okay, so that's a Bob on the field now.
That's fine. He's got a Bob. I mean,
speeds up
that
the
puts
clock.
the pressure on though. Like we really need to get to a win condition next turn at some point.
Right. We have what, 3 turns right now?
3 turns. Yep. Plus, he's going to continuously add cards to his hand.
Although every time he adds cards, as long as it's not a land or a 0-drop, it's going to reduce the storm count needed. So
that's true, but it's not going to be. Honestly, it's more profitable for him to draw the cards than it is for us.
Right.
Like I think at this point we really need to draw. Like we could draw any land that's an island or ability to get an island, and then ideally gush into like Black Lotus and Yawgmoth's Will, or Time Bolt will take, that would work. Actually, Tinker would be fine too, because he doesn't appear to have any answers to Blightsteel.
We drew another gush.
Still no land. Okay, well, I guess we're sitting around for a minute. This is what, 3 or 4 draw steps with no land?
Yeah, that was turn 3. So 2 draw steps. Plus the Vendalion click, so 3 draws.
And he reveals the Mox, so that's good for him.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't know about this shuffler. At least we oh great, he's got a brainstorm, never mind. I was gonna say, at least we know that his hand only has 1 potential.
Alright, so we run out Pearl, and then we...
Still need a land.
So actually I hold the Pearl then.
Yeah, just hold the Pearl, because we're gonna need that for Storm Count. I think it's just crazy that we haven't drawn a land in this many turns, but... I guess that's the nature of the shuffler.
Oh, he redrew his Sapphire. Okay.
Oh, he must have a pretty innate fear of dying to his own Dark Confidant then.
Well, he probably knows that our only... Well, he knows we have tendrils, so...
Yeah.
He's probably like playing around the tendrils right now.
Let me see. So if we go...
If we draw a land, we can go Gush, Mox...
If we draw a land, we're in really good shape, because we can float 2 mana and Gush. Jeez.
We can hard cast a Gush.
You know what? Just play it so we can cast Gush.
Okay, so we go cast this.
That's terrible, though. We have to try at this point, because we're dead next turn otherwise. He might just counter it anyway, because we haven't played a mana source in 5 turns.
Right.
Or 4 turns. He's thinking about it.
This is definitely messy.
The bright side is that we can theoretically pretty easily kill him with tendrils if we draw the right cards. We just need to. But I mean, if he wises up and just counters this mana crypt, then we're in trouble anyway. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So we Gush here then.
Yeah, float a blue, cut a bunch of mana, and Gush. I mean, it has to be pretty perfect at this point, because it's already been so many turns of not drawing anything, but there's a good chance that he's going to counter... Yeah, he's going to counter it.
And we scoop.
Yep, nothing we can do about that. If we would have hit the lands that we needed, we would have had them pretty easily.
We would have drawn Mox Library and been very sad.
So not even good enough.
Very sad. There's 2 lands. Okay, well,
Oh, so,
that was the first game, everyone, and we'll see you in the second one.